Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and it's January 2018, so it's time for a new What's on My Device video. So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on my iPhone 7 Plus to see exactly the kind of applications that I'm going to be using on a regular basis. Now we're not going to be discussing every application on my phone, as some you would have seen a ton in the past, but we are going to be looking at my most used. Now if you're wondering where my Android video is, that's going to be coming in a couple of days time, and that's going to be what's on my Android video for January 2018 on my Moto Z. So, let's take a look. Okay guys, so as you can see, I do keep things very minimal and as organised as I can with the limitations of iOS. Obviously keep in mind that you can't move around your applications to exactly where you want to have them. You do always need to have them in this grid format, but for me, that's not necessarily much of an issue. I've got three main layout pages, my main one here being all the applications that I use on a daily basis. I've then got my next page, a page after that, and everything is in alphabetical order. Now obviously with iOS you do have to organise this yourself, however for me I find it a little bit easier to find the application that I'm looking for. Much like with an Android app drawer for example that automatically puts things in the right order, you have to do it manually on iOS, but once everything's all where it should be, it's really easy to find the applications you need. I also then have a last page here, which is any application or set of applications that I'm currently testing at any one time. As you can see here, I'm dipping my finger into iOS and AR at the moment to see exactly how good AR applications actually are on the iPhone. Now first impressions, I'm actually really impressed with what AR can offer, but I'm going to be doing a whole video featuring all of these applications, so make sure that you're subscribed for that coming forward. Back to my main screen, and as you can see here, I've got all of my applications that I use on a regular basis as I mentioned, and again they're in alphabetical order as well. Now first up we've got simple applications like the App Store, the camera, Google Drive, Google Calendar, the Maps for example, but we do have some applications on here that I use to edit some photos for thumbnails that I actually use here on YouTube. So the main one is going to be Lightroom, and I use this for pretty much all of my edits that I'm going to be doing, whether that's for Instagram, Facebook, or whether it's going to be for a thumbnail here on the channel. It's got some really awesome features in terms of actually editing photos, so we'll just jump into a photo real quick like this one here for example. You've got a load of different examples down the bottom of light, colour, effects, details, so you can change a whole ton of stuff, and I'm actually going to be doing a video in the future of the best ways to use your mobile for photography, and Lightroom is going to be part of that video, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Also part of that video is going to be lens distortion, which is at the moment an iOS exclusive application. However, it allows you to have some really awesome effects that I haven't really seen on any other app. So as you can see here, I've got an example of one of the thumbnails that I'm going to be using shortly, and there's a light in the background, but it looks a little bit bland. What you can do is add some lighting effects to this, move this around, put it up in the corner there for example. You can then add a new layer. We're going to get some light flares in the background, so maybe this for example here. You can see there that it completely changes up the look and feel of the picture that you're currently using. Now again, it is a paid application, and to get access to all of the different filters you are going to have to pay a little bit more as well, but in general it's one of the best applications that I've come across, and I use it on pretty much a daily basis to edit some photos. If you want to take a look at some of the examples, you can follow me on Instagram, and I'll have that all linked in the description down below. Now I've also recently set up a Facebook page for the channel as well, and for that I use Facebook Pages, which is a really great application to keep track of everything in regards to your Facebook page if you've got one. So as you can see here, again linked in the description is my brand new Facebook page. I'm going to have some behind the scenes things in terms of when I film videos, along with a new Instagram profile as well, and again that's all going to be linked in the description down below. But if you want to get in contact with me, have a chat, or just in general like some of the stuff that I'm posting, this is probably the best place to do it, along with the new Instagram channel as well. Heading over to the second page now, and there's not really anything too interesting on this page, however background is one of my go-to wallpaper applications of choice, and again it is an Unsplash client. So as you can see here, you've got some really nice artwork, some really nice photography, and it's really easy to set them as your wallpaper. Now because it is iOS, there's not really any way to do it natively within the application. However, if you long tap on a photo, it's then going to save it to your camera roll. You can then go ahead and edit that if you need to, and then apply it as a wallpaper. You've also got some different options here in regards to a search function. These are the newest ones, and you've also got a featured page as well. So there's a ton of different wallpapers, loads of different categories, and if you see a wallpaper here on the channel, it's probably going to be used with background. For the remainder of this page, there's nothing really too much interesting down here. However, I do have hyperlapse and also layout, which are some really great additions to Instagram, allowing you to get some really smooth time-lapse video and also get multiple pictures into one photo as well. So they're really awesome applications if you do want to up your Instagram game and do something a little bit different. Over then to the last page of applications that I've got, and again it's pretty much standard apps. I do have Motion Stills, which is a really awesome application from Google, and I'm going to have a video linked in the description down below for some of my top applications, of which which that's going to be one of them. Obviously I've got Netflix on here for all of the most up-to-date shows. Friends, which is one of my all-time favourite shows, has recently been added, so I'm a little bit addicted to watching that in the background while editing some of these videos. I've also got some information on here as well in regards to my energy, PayPal, also the phone as well. And then I've got Pokemon Go because yes, I do still play it, and it's not as popular as it maybe once was, but it's still a really awesome game if you are just out and about and you just want to have a little play, then this is a really great game to do so. Skyforce is a really awesome top-down shooter game as well, with some really nice graphics and some really awesome gameplay that I can definitely recommend. We've also then got the Tailor application, which is something that I'm going to be doing in a future video, which allows you to basically get the feature that you would have on a Galaxy device with multiple screenshots being stitched together to make one long screenshot. It's a really awesome application, super simple to use, and it may come in handy if you do want to get some information in regards to maybe a messages thread or just a long screenshot for a web page, for example. Allowing you to scroll through, take multiple screenshots and stitch them together is definitely a great application to have on an iOS device, which otherwise wouldn't be able to get that feature. And then I've also got the Simpsons Tapped Out game, which is a tapping game to kind of just pass the time. And I'm a little bit addicted to that along with Pokemon Go as well. It's just one of those games in the background. Once you send all of the Simpsons on jobs, for example, you can leave it then for however long that you need to and only come back to it as and when you actually need to. For me, I prefer those types of games where it's just pick up and play and you don't really need to invest too much time and effort to play them, especially on mobile. I would save those more kind of sit down and, really concentrate games for a console or PC gaming. And then lastly we have my dock here at the bottom, which is my 4 most used applications. Now these are the apps that I use every single day, multiple times a day, and they come in extremely handy. The first one that we have is Google Assistant, which is a really awesome way to get chain questions. So if you ask it a question and then you want to have a follow-up question, for example, it's going to know exactly what you're talking about. So if you say who is the President of the United States and then have a follow-up question with and who's his wife, it's going to know exactly what you're talking about to get that answer that you actually need. Instagram is my main social network of choice. This is my main personal Instagram, as you can see here. However, I have recently launched a new Instagram channel which is all around Copper vs Glass. So if you want to get any sort of background information in regards to when and how I film videos, for example, or just get some examples of videos before they're actually live on the channel, then this is the best way to do so. And again, it's all going to be linked in the description down below. I've then got WhatsApp, which is my main messaging application of choice, and everyone that I know uses it. I've got a ton of different threads on there for friends and family, so that's the way that I communicate with pretty much everybody. I've also then got the YouTube application because, let's face it, why wouldn't you? And I sink a lot of hours and a lot of time into YouTube, whether that's looking at my own videos, making sure that everything's where it should be, checking that my channel looks okay on mobile, or just watching other people's content to try and get some ideas. This is a great application, but I'm sure you knew that anyway. And that's going to do it, guys, for the What's on My iPhone video of January 2018. Now, it's not necessarily the most exciting video, but keep in mind, guys, that this phone here is my daily driver. So the main things that I'm going to be using it for is messages, phone, internet, just the standard things. I don't really bombard it with a ton of different games. I really only put games on there and certain applications on there when I want to showcase them here on the channel. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up down below. And if you've got any questions or comments or applications that you want me to take a look at in the future, then let me know in the comments section or on Twitter at Copper vs Glass. For more content moving forward, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to watch my What's on My Android video, which is also going to be linked in the description down below. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass, and I will catch you guys in the next video.